So I've arrived at my next nest in Bucharest, Romania. Currently in my hand is a flask of wild tea. Apparently there was an area that had not been developed for a while, and so all these wild flowers and plants had a chance to grow. So many layers of scent, it's awesome. And thankfully now it's a protected space. I've been to a few countries where this is the case, like the space, the DMZ between North and South Korea, similarly has certain flora that exist nowhere else. When people let things grow and go, they really evolve beautifully and organically and uniquely for spaces. So I really like, particularly the water actually, of different places. Wow. It's got like a slight bitterness at the back of the tongue, and then over the palate is this almost creamy, must be the petals, feeling in the roof of the mouth. I really like waters of spaces to help you acclimatize and maybe immunize to different places, so I try and drink a little bit of the water of wherever I am, and Romania is totally fine to do that. Here's some beautiful illustrations on the wall. I really like this one. Yeah. Balancing a ball in each hand and then one coming out of the crown. How do you balance that ball? So here's some of the plants. Beautiful dried wild plants. And the reason for this message is that I saw a poster last night which had a pretty simple saying. I can't remember the exact wording, but it was basically said, travel. It's never about money, just courage. And it felt true. Many of you would know my feelings about money and courage. And I feel that I am gifted, like amazing experiences. I've been in the Romanian hills, I've went to the Sphinx recently, I've held various ceremonies, I ended up at a physical performance last night watching some beautiful puppetry and movement pieces. I've been eating amazing raw organic food for the last week. Like I already know I'm receiving all I need to receive from this, and you know, it's beautiful to share things. And so many times I'm like, if only I could pull the world to my side to see what I'm seeing, to smell, to eat. And so the best way I can do that is to cast a little video out, just encouraging us all to be bold. We are, you know, smashed with so much fear-based mentality, with scarcity-based mentality. When I go to new places and I'm continually moving, the place I'm currently in warns me about the next place often. I was recently in Germany, in Berlin and Potsdam and Kaput, and loved all of those places. But I was warned about coming to Bucharest, about Romania. But now that I'm here, you know, it's a wonderful place, as it always is. There is no other, it's always just human beings. And I was talking to a woman last night from the performance who was doing spinning, whirling dervish spinning, and she was explaining the process of coming to that stillness, of that no-minded, that unminded state where it's completely nothing, but at the same time it's everything, and there's this bliss. And I've been running some breathwork sessions recently for some people and watching them surrender into that complete bliss, and reflecting on my own moments coming to a point of being held. There's a knowing, there's so much self-realization that happens in these times. So what is all this coming to? It's coming to the idea of stepping out, of relinquishing the fear-based mentality of the other, of that other place just over the border, of these false necessities, of this prescribed inventory of things that we need before we can leave. I've done projects before, from nothing, you know, going across Australia, the Do Tour across America, using art as currency. I've proved it to myself, and now I'm cultivating this game, unnamed as yet, about how to step out somewhere we haven't been, meet people we don't know, and do things we haven't done. And so this is still a research and development process. I'm leaving to Athens after a coin flip. I was either going to go north or south, but after a coin flip and a bunch of votes online, I've ended up down south in Bucharest, ready for my flight to Athens on Monday. The simple message is that there is a game. There is a beautiful nobility inherent in all of us. And there is a service And this is the thing, as soon as you start stepping into and gaining a whiff of that bliss, you start talking like all the self-help books. And it's terrible because it means nothing. It goes to cliche so straight away. So find out what service means to you. Find out the pragmatic approach to living love, because damn, it's been said by people much wiser than myself, and still we live in fear. But I truly believe that the disease, the sickness, the danger that we are avoiding by not leaving is actually brought home to us by not leaving, if that makes sense. By holding on to the fear, by limiting ourselves, by not honoring the intuition, we silence that voice and becomes lost. When we sit in stillness and have a deep listening, it's a fine tendril, a gossamer thread, a little, ooh, what is that? So much more subtle yet potent than all the noise that we're surrounded with. And then when we honor it, when we do step out, it becomes much more effortless and constant, and you start to go a lot more on instinct. Spirituality becomes embodied. For too long, spirituality or higher consciousness has been this poetic, esoteric kind of thing, devoid of real application. And I do believe that through martial arts and through yoga and through dance movement, we can link the two. We can actually have heart-based experiences. And I was recently away at this retreat with Susan and Storm said something to me, and he's training in Qigong, and he's a musician for Five Rhythms dance. And he explained the way that he hears music, and I realized I'd been listening to music in a limited way all these years, my whole life. Music used to come into my ears and my head, and I used to understand it and hear it and appreciate music. But he said to take it in, to feel the music. And something about his particular transmission or listening to the music that he was playing, I was able to have it play me. The music enters your body, and in the exact moment that the note changes, the rhythm changes, your internal, like your organs, your visceral experience aligns with it, and you are suddenly being played as the music. And that is an embodied experience of something intangible. So this is my encouragement for us to have embodied experiences, to take moments of deep listening, to allow that tiny voice of intuition to be heard, and to act on it, and to slowly allow that to be the constant, to let go of the fear that we're burdened with. Your guard is actually your cage. That protection is actually a bubble insulating yourself from bliss. This is what I experienced anyway. Travel, whether it be overseas across borders, in your own suburb, or just, emotionally, shift, allow flow, allow movement. You need no more resources than you have. It just takes courage.